such substance that has mass and volume or an occupied space is made of matter. And matters are composed of smallest particle called as atom. This concept was given by Democritus in 460 BC. That matter is composed of atom which cannot be further subdivided. But this concept was just based on speculation. In 1808, Dalton gave Dalton's atomic theory of matter to explain that matter is composed of smallest particle called as atom. And in his postulates, he has explained the properties of atom. The main postulates were elements, that is, all matter is composed of atom which cannot be made or destroyed. And these atoms of an element are identical, but different elements have different type of atoms, and the atoms, when undergo chemical reaction, they form compounds, that is, they undergo rearrangement. So these are the basic postulates of Dalton's atomic theory, and this theory obeyed law of conservation of mass, multiple proportion and constant composition. So in 1808, John Dalton proposed his atomic theory, stating that matter is made of atom, it's the smallest indivisible particle. But later on, we had done few experiments done by different scientists which did not explain the complete nature of it. The first one was Michael Faraday, who proposed the electric nature of matter in 1830. In this experiment, a current is passed through two metal rods dipped in an electrolyte. Now, it was found that matter got deposited on the electrolyte, which means that the electric nature of matter, that is, the electric current is made of charged particles. So the matter is composed of charged particles and it conducts electricity. And this was further explained by William Crookes, that the matter's one form, that is gases, that is conduction of electricity through gases. So in his experiment, he did a cathode ray tube experiment. A glass tube is containing two electrodes. This is a glass tube which is closed and it is connected to a high voltage. Two electrodes are present. One is connected to the negative terminal and other to the positive terminal. The negative terminal is cathode and the positive terminal is anode. These are electrodes. There is a side tube which is connected to the vacuum pump to maintain the pressure of the gas which is filled inside the cathode ray tube, and it is connected to a high voltage battery. When you pass high voltage at low pressure, gases starts to conduct and glowing was seen inside the tube, and the rays started to move from cathode to anode. Now the experiment was modified by taking a perforated anode and the backside was coated with zinc sulfide coating, which is a fluorescent material. And when the experiment was done, radiations traveled from cathode to anode and glowing was seen. Spots were obtained on the zinc sulfide coating, which means that these cathode rays travel in a straight line, that is through the perforated hole. And these are made of charged particle as it is attracted towards a positively charged plate. Now, J.J. Thomson proposed the properties of cathode rays. These rays that travel from cathode to anode were studied, and the first property was that these rays have mechanical effect. That is, when the radiation traveled, a wheel moved from cathode to anode, indicating that these cathode rays are composed of material particle. Also, these material particle, when you strike to a metal, the metal gets heated, that is, they have heating effect, that is, cathode ray produce heating effect. Also, it was seen that when an obstacle is placed in between, the shadow was seen on the backside of anode, which indicates that cathode rays travel in a straight line. So these are the properties of cathode rays. Now the experiment to show the effect of electric and magnetic field on cathode. Now if electric field is applied, the cathode rays got deflected towards the positive charge plate, indicating the negative nature of the cathode rays. Similarly, if you place a magnetic field, it gets deflected. And these cathode rays are made of negative charge particle called as electrons. And this was given by J.J. Thomson. So the electron was discovered by J.J. Thomson, and this charge particle does not depend on the nature of electrode, neither on the nature of the gas taken inside the discharge tube. Any gas you take, it will give the negative charge particle the same negative charge particle. It does not depend on the nature of the gas or on the electrode. Now there was experiment done to find the charge to mass ratio of these negative charge particle called as electron. And this negative charge particle, that is cathode rays, when moved from cathode to anode, if you place electric and magnetic field, we can find the charge to mass ratio. If only electric field is applied, A point, you will get certain strikes. If only magnetic field is applied, you get glowing at C spot. And if you apply both electric and magnetic field in equal amount, you get no deflection and the B point is observed. So these particles depend the magnet of the negative charge on the particle, the mass of the particle, and the strength of electric or magnetic field. So if electric field is applied, we get deflection or the points or glowing only at point A. If magnetic field is applied, we get deflection at point C. So only if you place magnetic field, you get deflection at point C. And if both are maintained at a balance, you get the point B. And by conducting this charge to mass experiment, we came to know the charge to mass ratio of an electron is 1.758820 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kilogram. So this experiment was used to find the charge to mass ratio. Then the charge of an electron was found by Robert Millikan in 1909. He carried out his oil drop experiment to find the charge on an electron. From this experiment, we found the charge E by m is 1.758820 10 to the power 11 coulomb per kilogram, and mass is E upon E by m, and the mass is 9.1094 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram. So the mass of an electron is very small. It's the lightest particle. So the mass of electron was very small. Similarly, cathode rays was the first particle that is made of negatively charged electron, and the same way anode rays, which are made of positive charged particle, discovery was later on done, and it was being done by Eugen Goldstein in 1886. That is the discovery of anode rays. As you have negative charge particle, there are also positive charge particle in an atom, and he performed anode ray experiment in which the cathode was perforated and radiation started to move from anode to cathode, and these particles moved even through the perforated cathode and emitted glow. Just like anode rays was giving glow, now you have anode rays giving glow, that is rays are moving from anode to cathode, and these are called canal rays as they are passing through the perforated holes. These holes on the cathode you can see. So you have anode rays. Now hydrogen gas gives the smallest and the lightest positive ion, and these were called as protons. So the positive charge particle has the charge same as that of electron, but the sign was positive. It is plus 1.6 10 to the minus 19 coulomb, and mass was equal to 1.67 10 to the power minus 24 gram. So the mass of proton is higher than the mass of electron, and different gases produces different kind of protons. The other gas produces whole number multiples of the mass of hydrogen gas, that is the mass of other gas. So in an hydrogen atom you have proton which are positive charged and electron which are negatively charged. So this is about the two subatomic particles discovered, electron and proton, by discharge rate tube experiment. Now the charge and mass of negative and positive subatomic particles, we all know, relate to the discovery of the term called atomic mass. So atom has mass, and that is because of the presence of protons and electron. Since the mass of electron is very small, the atomic number is equal to the number of proton, and atomic mass is equal to mass of proton and electron, but the electron mass is negligible as compared to that of proton. So as we have assumed that the mass of atom is equal to mass of proton plus electron, but the mass of proton is much less than the actual mass of an atom. So mass of atom was not equal to the mass of proton and electron. So it was assumed that you have some other subatomic particles still present in an atom which gave the mass of an atom. So and these are particles which does not have any charge, and these particles were discovered by James Chadwick in 1932. So James Chadwick discovered neutrons. Now how did he do that? Alpha rays were struck on beryllium foil and certain neutral particles were emitted out. Alpha particles are helium particles having positive charge, and neutral particles were emitted, and this led to the discovery of neutron. And these discovered particle, the subatomic particle neutron, had no charge but mass equal to that of proton, and hence atomic mass was found to be equal to the mass of proton and neutron, as electron have no charge. Electrons are negative charge, no negligible mass. Proton have positive charge, and this is about the properties of electron, proton and neutron. The charge of the symbol for electron is E, that of proton P and neutron N. The charge of electron is negative 1.6022 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, that of proton plus 1.6022 10 to the minus 19 coulomb, and neutron have no charge. Relative charge of electron is minus 1, that of proton plus 1 and neutron 0. Mass in kg is 9.1 10 to the power minus 31 for electron, proton 1.67 10 to the power minus 27 and 1.67 10 to the power minus 27, that of proton and neutron are nearly same. Mass is 0.0054 U, 1.00727 U and 1.00867 U in unified mass. And atomic mass, approximately mass is 0 for electron, proton 1, neutron 1. So this is about the three subatomic particles discovered at that time: electron, proton and neutron.